Good evening, everyone. Unless you are not watching this in the evening, then good whatever time of day it is to you. We are back in Bay City proper tonight, and this is going to be for Volume 6 Solstice, Chapter 4 Ghosts. I am Crimson Avix, your newly elected GM for Volume 6 once again, and am joined by three of the four goons tonight. We have was Ketchup on a Sandwich, Chameleon Ice. Loves ice cream sandwiches, TGE, and probably eats sandwiches made out of Swedish fish, OPT Lawyer.
You know, I've never actually had Swedish fish.
Really?
Really?
What?
My son is disappointed in you.
As he should be.
I'm disappointed in you.
Thought I knew you.
All right. So, for those who may be wondering about what is going on here, because we are sort of flip-flopping back and forth between two storylines, here we just all got back from a bunch of different places around the world where we had 6 entities sort of come to Earth, and none of them were really seen at first. But then, with the help of a few intergalactic, I don't really want to call them peacemakers, but I mean, it was the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Rabble rousers.
Yeah, that's a good one. Group. We did find out the identity of several of them. We learned about Alpine, who was found in Siberia. Landslide, which Lutra and Malkir didn't witness, but came across the destruction of near Stonehenge. We learned about Ohm, who not only was in combat, but actually enticed our party to chase after her in Japan. We learned about Molten in Hawaii. And, of course, Kestrel and Zero Day got to investigate about Estuary in Paris. And actually, the last episode ended on the image of Estuary appearing because, well, Estuary is an otter. An anthropomorphic otter. Just like Lutra.
What was that name again?
Estuary.
Estuary.
Just like the stream. So, we now know 5 of the 6 individuals that cover 5 of the 6. I don't want to say normal elements because typically there's only 4 elements in true, elemental talk. But in Final Fantasy elements, we got 5 of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
We're dismissing Wind.
Well, clearly that's Ven. He's already there.
So, what's going on with the party?
Well, scene-wise, where were we again?
We were all just in the housing unit that you see on the screen. I don't know why it's different on the stream than on my screen. I got the Dark Park.
Oh, you know what? I know why. Nope, never mind. I don't know why. It's what I'm seeing on my screen. Oh, did you drag us over to it?
What do you want it to be? Because if you go to the top tab, you should have a little ribbon that says players. Drag that over to where you want us.
Ooh.
That makes a difference. So we are all in this building, and this is just basically ground zero for where Jay does all of his investigations, and it's his home base. It's his Stark Tower. This is also actually the area where you fought that mysterious figure back in chapter 1.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's right, because we had a big conference after that too. So that makes sense. Same place.
Yes.
Okay, so you're basically inside in the congregating area. It would be a living room in a normal house, just a little bit bigger.
Well, the first thing Kesha will be talking about is Lutra, the asteroid guy. He looks kind of like you.
Was that female or male? I forget.
Estuary is male.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't really look anything like me, but he's an otter, I think.
But he's like an otter, and he's standing up and such. And
I mean,
he was kind of brownish.
I mean, if that's, we don't all look the same,
Well, I know that, but I mean, like he looks like a standing otter. You don't see a lot of them.
No, you don't. And those that you do, just they're kind of like really teeny small kind of thing. But they're really cute. Oh my god, I love otters are so cute. I'm cute too.
They're okay. You're okay.
Just for a reminder, I popped it back up there.
Hey.
Much appreciated. But I mean, it's still kind of odd that we haven't seen. Well, I mean, you haven't seen another otter like you before, though, right? Because
No.
you're not from here.
Yeah, do you think he's from my home planet?
I don't know. I'm kind of wondering that. I mean, they did come from the sky, right? Maybe he came like a meteor from your planet or something.
That wouldn't make any sense though, because he's part of this whole 6 thing going on.
Yeah, but maybe he got caught up in the middle of it. I don't know. I'm just kind of putting this together as I go. Either way, you gotta talk to him.
Yeah, Groot does bring up a good point. I mean, the 6 beings happened to make it to Earth, and no one saw any of them?
Well, somebody saw some
except
flashes.
That one camera image.
Yeah.
How do you guys intend on catching them?
I don't know.
Well, Zero Day?
You look around and he's not in the room you're sitting in.
Huh.
Lucha's trying like, I don't know. I don't have any kind of plan.
I got kind of an idea, but I mean, I don't quite have the computer brain to pull it off. Basically, if they all landed here and they all ran away, maybe they're all going towards someplace. So, maybe there's some sort of place out there that would logically draw all the elements.
Oh, I know.
What?
A museum.
Why
That's
a
where a lot
museum?
of drawings are at.
I
You said...
I
they were
get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably not what you meant then.
Yes,
okay.
not quite.
Gotcha.
Although if they end up being in a museum now, you get to say I told you so.
Ooh.
Did anybody see where Zero Day went?
No, I didn't.
Groot is wondering why the otter takes everything literally.
He leads out of the castle. What does literally mean?
It means you're good at reading, Lutra.
Oh! He said, because I'm really good at reading.
I'm Groot. Yes, Groot. No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Chris was trying to stifle a laugh. It's just him. He's fine. He's younger than he looks, I think.
So Jay thanks Rocket and Group for their information and disconnects a call with them.
Bye, guys.
Lucha frowns. He's a really cute looking raccoon.
I don't disagree.
So what's our plan?
No, that's a good. I was going to say, do you have any idea, Jay?
I have no idea.
I mean, what's the most interaction that we've had?
Video flashes, landing sites, and the electricity burn. One of the X-Men, they actually had contact with that Ohm.
But they never saw her.
No, but they were touched by her things.
Oh, is that what that one guy meant by, what was his name? Oh, Collins, Phil Collins. Is that what he meant by having invisible touch?
I really don't know how to respond to that, Lutra. Like, that's impressive.
Oh, thanks. I really like 80s music. It's all they play at the docks, like, on Fridays.
I need a bigger brain in the room. Where's Zero Day? I'm gonna go and see if I'm gonna go around. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Kessel zooms out of the room to scan through the mansion.
Okay, bye.
How are you scanning, and where are you scanning?
Well, he's flying through the inside of the mansion, going like floor by floor, checking room by room, like doing those quick flybys.
Based on that description, you will not find him.
Aww. And he checks the outer perimeter of the mansion, like just on the outside. I'm guessing nothing.
No, you'll find him there.
Okay.
He's made his way to a little part of like a pitched roof, just sort of sitting there with his legs hanging off the roof.
So Kestrel zooms up, and he kind of does one of those like sudden, like one of those passes, and then flips back. So there you are. Geez, I've been looking for you. Where have you been?
Here.
It was a stupid question. I mean, why did you leave the room?
Though this is weird though, because I'm not sure if you noticed it initially. You probably did. I didn't mention. His helmet's off for the first time since you've seen him.
Oh.
And you'll notice that while this definitely is an older version of the Hunter you know, his face is worn, almost not quite wizened, but you definitely see that it definitely feels like a face that's seen its fair share of crap happen.
I'll definitely make Kestrel float down a little bit and land on the roof. Are you alright?
I do not know.
I'm guessing you don't know why you left the room either.
No, I do know why I left the room. Because the longer I'm in that room, the longer I'm with all of you, the harder it's going to be for me to do what I came here to do.
Are you planning on doing something drastic on her?
Let's just forget I said that part. The other part is the more I'm around all of you, the more the harder it becomes to keep emotions at bay.
Why do you need to?
when you have been forced to watch every person who you ever made friends with, acquaintances with, be snuffed out in front of you
Okay,
to
no,
try
I
and
get it.
prove a point. There's only so much pain a heart can take.
No, I get that entirely. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
So instead of letting that rule over me, I locked away emotions. I trusted my instincts to data and analytics, things that can't lie, things that you cannot get emotionally attached to.
That's not working out so well for you, is it?
What would you do if you suddenly ran into people who, in your world, have been gone for a very long time?
I'd probably freak out and do everything in my power to keep them safe.
And that's the problem I run into, because I'm not here to change the size of the tide, just the direction it goes. And the more that I am in that room with those people, the harder it's going to be. There's a reason that when we split up, I specifically split with you.
Oh yeah, I mean, you spent the least amount of time with me.
There is that.
There's also the other half about the whole losing somebody that you're kind of familiar with.
There are things that I wish I could say, I wish I could tell you. But I cannot be specific without risking everything. Because if you know something that changes your behavior, then all of the data I've collected on how to stop this becomes null and void.
That sounds so hard. Like, you came here to do something, and that's going to change some things, and how are you going to interact enough to stop whatever's going to happen if you don't, interact?
It's it's a hard balance to strike. To come from a world that never should have been to stop the creation of a world that shouldn't be, all while being a person that shouldn't.
I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of that is admittedly flying over my head just because I can only know so much, but I get that it's really complicated, but we also really need your help. I mean, it's kind of just me and Lutra and they're smacking heads trying to figure this out. And I really feel like your input would at least make this a lot easier for us and hopefully get to a solution faster. So, maybe maybe you can avoid that bad future that you keep talking about.
I cannot avoid the future that has been laid out for me. I'm not here to stop my future. I'm here to stop yours.
Right. Though I guess part of you though, because I mean you still got our hunter in you.
a mild complication. But if we are attempting to stop whatever these beings are, then I do suppose that sticking more heads on it might potentially lead to better results. Although I do have my doubts when it comes to Lutra and logic.
He's got it. It's just a different brand.
Literal interpretations of things, while I can understand that, does not quantify as logic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he'll get better.
He is also easily distracted by a bag of sugary red candy.
I mean, that's just useful.
Speaking of, are you a fan of ice cream?
What kind?
So, up until now, the backpack that's been on his back this entire time has just sort of been there and hasn't really done anything. It's where he always keeps most of the tools, but he hits a little button and a little pops out. And obviously, whatever it is being chilled by something because, like, the liquid nitrogen smoke comes out.
Ooh.
And he produces what appear to be 2 ice cream bars on sticks.
Kestrel immediately flies up to the back of that, that's what this is for!
They are, once they are unwrapped, they are sort of tannish in color, studded with what appear to be cookie pieces.
Oh. Can I please?
He hands you one.
Oh, Kestrel noms on that thing like a cob corn. Yeah, that works.
I know I shouldn't be getting invested, but this is what we used to do.
I mean, there's no reason. There's no reason that we can't keep doing this stuff. Heck, I know Lutra would love one of these.
Do you really think it's wise to give him sugar?
Maybe before a fight.
The only reason I'm confident giving it to you is because your metabolism will burn it off very quickly.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, it's not like I'm giving you an energy drink and you're turning into that squirrel from that one movie.
Sadly, no, I'm not that fast. I can only dream.
Your entire ice cream's gone. He's taken one bite out of his.
Oh, of course. It's like a typewriter going nuts on that thing. Yes! He's just licking his fingertips. Yes, thank goodness.
So, I suppose the question now would be, you said you need my help figuring something out. That tells me you already have an idea.
We got a rough one. We got all these guys of the same of different elements that all left whatever place they were going. I figure that means they're all headed for the same place, like they're being called somewhere. But I just don't really have many ideas of what would qualify.
Well, since we know what elements landed where, at this point he has put his helmet back on. Before we go anywhere, we should probably head back down to the room with all the computers and the maps. It'll be easier there.
I agree.
So he gets back down, finds the dry erase board, pulls a map across it type of deal, the clear erase board with the map, and goes, okay, we know the 5 elements we're dealing with.
We know you're with the rest of us? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know the 5 elements we are dealing with, and we know where they all landed, relatively speaking. Given that data, we can probably use satellite imagery to detect which direction they ran off to and attempt to triangulate the locations that they are heading off to in that general direction.
This is exactly what I wanted to hear.
I got a question.
Oh, no.
You said something. Are they all relatives?
unknown right now. Potentially they could be.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a good question. Yeah.
Jay, is satellite imagery for detecting the 5 different elements? I know we can at least get the infrared and the electrical signature.
I mean, it's going to be highly impossible considering that we weren't tracking them. So how did we differentiate those from any other humans? We weren't looking for emission of energy levels of their type. Not to mention, we're not sure how they're different from any other mutants on this planet, so we can't even differentiate that. For example, and he pulls up a map of Japan, this is the imagery of energy levels given off in Japan when the fight with Ohm was going on. Other than the fact that Ohm is by herself, where the X-Men were all together, the energy levels are no different.
Okay, that is fair. But in Hawaii, if something was heating to the point of volcanic activity, that is something that would be monitored, is it not?
I mean, we can look, but I can't guarantee that.
Also, I just had a thought. Like, if that Ohm character was in Japan during the power outage, and she was traveling through power lines and stuff, shouldn't there be a way of tracking, like, when there's energy moving through that stuff? They can maybe see, like, where and when she left. Especially during a power outage where there's no other power.
Oh, I'm sure we can track her through Japan. Wait, you believe she's still in Japan right now?
No, but we can maybe figure out where she got off.
Right. We're going to be using incomplete data to attempt to create a map as to where they are going. If we even have just a little bit of the data from all the directions they are going, we could potentially use it to extrapolate where they are going. We can track the electrical signature through the power lines to eventually where that leads off. We can track the heat signature from the volcano. The magma signature is going to be moving a lot slower than the heat signature we will be tracking would be. Same thing when it comes to the potential seismic activity for landslide.
Tell me something.
Something.
Do you have control over your powers?
Me?
Or Kestrel?
I mean, I think I do. I have pretty good control.
Do you run 1,000 miles per hour every single step you take?
Oh, no. I fly.
Okay, so why would we think that Molten doesn't have the ability to cool his body down? Why would we think that Landslide doesn't have the ability to not create tremors everywhere he walks? I think the last thing they would want to do, given their entrance into this planet, is to draw constant attention to where they are.
Right. I don't think the idea is that we're assuming that they're constantly doing this stuff, but it's kind of all we got right now. It's a starting point.
Even if we have incomplete data, we still have a starting point. Because yes, you are correct. They will probably not be using their powers for the full duration of where they are going, but to at least get out of the initial impact zone they were. And that is a direction that we can at least attempt to pursue.
Also, since they're from, like, other planets, would they have any idea that we could actually trace that in the first place?
That's a good point.
There's an interesting concept behind that.
Oh?
Lutra, let me ask you a question.
Oh, sure. I love questions.
Do you understand the concept of a resonant frequency?
No!
Okay. That would be the only way we could potentially track them. But being able to track a resonant frequency from a long distance is damn near impossible.
Oh, is that like a frequency living someplace?
Allow me to explain.
Okay.
Jay, do you have a glass that you don't mind breaking?
Couldn't
Sure,
you
go
use
ahead and pull one out of the cabinet.
a tuning fork?
So he'll go over, pull one out of the cabinet. Lutra,
Depends on.
get up close to that glass and just sort of talk at it. And concentrate with your vision on the glass and watch how it's going to shake a little bit.
Huh? Okay. So he does that, and it's like, oh, okay. I can kind of. It's tiny.
Right. Because it will vibrate. The glass has a specific resonant frequency. When the sound waves from you that are generated match the resonant frequency of the glass, and he'll put his hand out and do a little nanotech thing where you'll basically hear like an opera shriek,
Ah!
and the glass will poof.
Big ears, be careful.
That's what happens.
Ow!
Being from a different planet and potentially a different universe, there would be a different vibrational frequency at which people vibrate at. But without getting close, there's no way to track it.
Jeez, that's some high thinking.
Okay.
High thinking. That was junior level physics.
Well, I mean, the idea that they come from a different planet, so they're resonating at a different level. I wouldn't have thought of that.
You also move at ridiculous speeds. You're also vibrating at a different level.
I am, but that's because it helps me move through stuff.
And that's another reason it works. Lutra, you look like you have a question.
No, I just had a thought, but I'm not gonna say it now.
Aw.
What is your thought?
Oh, you guys were all talking about vibrating, and I found something once that does that. And it was kind of interesting.
I believe the three of us in the room do in fact know what you are talking about.
Oh, good.
Remember, it was my younger self that helped you get off of that.
Oh, right.
That actually was not what I was talking about, but that's a thing too.
I thought you were talking about a cat.
Oh, well, that vibrates a lot too. I don't purr though.
No, I thought you found a cat.
Oh, I mean, I found lots of cats.
Yeah.
They don't like this scratching me.
Hey. You were not talking about the Blitz?
No.
What were you talking about?
I don't. As I said, it's not important.
No, it is.
No, it's not. Trust me.
You know it's just going to be more important now, Lutra.
That's fine. I'll tell you later.
Okay. How much later?
Much later.
Okay.
Why do you deem it not important?
Because it's not.
Okay.
How do you know?
Because I was told it's something I needed to explore more when I'm older.
And who would have told you that?
The nice shopkeep I tried to buy it from.
Oh, I know what you tried to get, Lutra. And yeah, you should never have any of that.
I am lost as to what you are attempting to explain.
Don't worry, it's illegal in some places. It's just something that really nobody should have access to, especially not right now. It's not important.
Right.
All it does is make things complicated.
But it was brought up, therefore it potentially could be important.
No, it's not, actually.
Besides, I mean, at best, all it is maybe a dangerous weapon. Anyway.
Meanwhile, Jay is constantly frantically typing at the computer. So, it may have something, but I don't really think it's going to help us at all.
Well, that's something. Better than nothing.
Well, Zero Day mentioned about looking at the electrical frequencies, since that was the method of transportation for Ohm through the power lines and stuff, which is great. In Fukushima, where the fight took place, we do see constant energy routing through the electrical wires, where we can obviously see where Ohm is because there's no other electricity flowing through. However, that current heads south, and once it gets to the Ibaraki region of Japan, you can't differentiate it at all from any of the electrical signal, any of the other electrical currents flowing through the lines. It's almost like her body just dissipated throughout all the electricity current.
It's gotta be a fast way to move. So, Ohm at least initially headed south. What about the whole magma thing?
We haven't gotten anything on that. All we have is the heat signature from the molten lava. There is no heat signature at all from Molten himself. The weird thing is there's actually no cool point either in the lava. It's like his body was the exact temperature the entire time.
That's actually not that weird if he's generating it.
I was gonna say, yeah, if he's actually.
That's not enough for us to go on then. We can't just have one direction because, like, she could have just doubled back. Like, we need at least multiple. But
Well, we know she didn't double back because Fukushima still has no electrical power.
okay, so that's at least consistent.
Or if she did, she's just not generating any energy and is just walking through like a normal human.
Right.
Jay, what were the 5 locations again?
Stonehenge, Paris, Fukushima, the island of Hawaii, and Siberia.
Unfortunately, just by looking at a map really quickly with those 5 locations, there is no pattern that can be drawn from that.
Yeah. And if they left those locations to go somewhere, the pattern of where they landed may not even matter.
Well, there is one other element we failed to look into.
Boron.
Wrong element.
Oh, right. Wind.
Exactly. We have the 5 others, but we haven't seen a disturbance in the wind at all, have we?
Crush looks over at Jay.
Don't look at me. I don't
You
know
got our
anything
data.
about the wind.
Oh, I know somebody who does.
I do not believe that they are fully equipped to assist with what you want them to do at this stage.
I was thinking of Van Lutra. He knows a lot of stuff about wind. I thought maybe he'd be able to tell something for us.
Unfortunately, the precise control of the abilities required for what you are attempting to get him to do is not something he has attained yet. He's only had his powers for how long at this point in time?
I don't think it's very long. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint considering how much time jumping we've kind of been doing in the past couple months. Like, apparently we were gone for 2 weeks, and then it was like 2 seconds or less here. It was weird.
Yeah, that was actually really, really weird.
Less than a year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With no formal training.
Right.
Right. Well, he had that one lady spirit thing come guide him on the path of. I guess she didn't probably train him, did she?
But that is something we can keep an eye on.
Right. But no, that other element is important, but we don't even know if there was another one that dropped. There should be. If we're following all the patterns, but what if it hasn't arrived yet?
Or what about the opposite?
It's already been here?
Yes.
How would we even know that?
We wouldn't. But since it did not arrive with the other 5, it's either yet to arrive or it's already been here. It wouldn't be far for a advanced scout to show up without the pomp and circumstance.
Right. Well, Lutra, you've been around a little bit longer than I have in the hero business. Have there been any crazy wind-based guys you've run into?
I mean, well, there's Fen, but not really. I don't remember anybody else who was like big into wind in this timeline. Which is words I thought I'd never say.
And I don't remember seeing any guys like that when, I was starting out either.
Well, if he represents wind, is it possible that he did show up and it's just like, kind of blended in with the atmosphere and blew off someplace?
Be a nice way to go incognito.
I mean, it's very possible we've already had some sort of interaction with him somewhere on this earth.
If he is wind, we could have breathed him in right now.
Think about what you just said, Lutra, and ponder on that for a second.
It's actually kind of scary, to be honest.
Oh, okay, let me think. Okay, is there any ponds around? Because I need to find a place to ponder, I guess.
Sometimes I wonder if you do it on purpose.
Do what?
I can assure you he does not.
Oh, good. See, thank you, honey.
I think what he's saying, though, is that the idea of breathing him in probably is a little far-fetched.
Oh, okay.
Just then, Jay gets a call. Okay, yeah, that's extremely interesting. And probably where we need to look.
Kestrel's ears perk.
Jay hangs up. So, if you're looking for signs of life, what's the one way that you're guaranteed to know if it is non-human?
Huh?
If it's not human.
Like,
If it's extraterrestrial, what's the one way to know if life is extraterrestrial?
well, there's that one time Dr. Casey scanned me and found all that cosmic radiation inside me. Is that something?
Ooh.
There is that, but there's a much simpler way.
If it breathes oxygen or not.
Something's extraterrestrial if it exists, where a place where no living being exists.
Right.
I'm confused.
The depths of the ocean, for example, was too dark and cold to sustain life.
Well, not even the depths. There is a
Talking just about
place.
humans.
There's a place in this world that I was just notified that was giving off physical energy, just like humans.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a place where no humans exist, and actually where no life that scientists know of exists.
The Dead Sea.
A gamer convention?
Antarctica?
I would say Lutra is actually probably the closest.
Aw.
Oh!
There's a place in the Pacific Ocean called Point Nemo. It is called the middle of nowhere, or the area of inaccessibility.
Ooh.
It is 1,000 miles from the nearest landmass, and it is within the Pacific Gyre, to where the ocean currents actually do not pull in any nutrients that can sustain life.
Ooh, that sounds so mysterious.
But we're getting life readings here.
Oh, we gotta check it out then, right?
That would be the perfect thing to do.
Can we actually get there?
The interesting thing about this is, I mean, we can fly there. That's not the problem. But there's no land.
I mean, it's water, right? We could jump in water.
But if he's wind-based, what if he's just in the air?
Then we'll
I
have
mean,
jet.
they have control of all the elements. I'm sure it's not hard for them to do something.
You know, this wouldn't be the first time that Lutra, you, or partially me, have encountered a phenomenon similar to this in a location with a similar reputation.
Remind me.
When is life not life?
Huh?
What is another name for a ghost?
Spirit?
Try again.
Oh!
Gosh, what? Which one? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a guy you know. Or new.
Spectre!
Exactly.
Oh, Lutra, do you get it?
No, what does this have to do with Phantasm?
Maybe he's the wind guy.
No,
Oh,
but the concept is the same. Entering into a point of no return. Life, but not life.
Oh, I'm so confused.
I'm
By
actually
the way,
kinda
that's
confused.
the reference of where Point Nemo is.
Neat.
I'm simply saying that this is a phenomenon that has been encountered before within the Bermuda Triangle.
I remember the Bermuda Triangle quite well. I don't know about this whole life not being life thing, but...
Did you know your friend was alive but not alive?
I mean... I knew he was alive. I knew he was... ghost. And I knew there was this whole thing about him not being... what was the name of it? They had a name. I don't... specific... they kept calling him that. I don't remember what it was.
El Callao?
What?
Is that it?
I believe the rough translation was one who was outside destiny.
Right, yeah, something like that.
Oh.
I thought it was Makut
Oh,
something or other.
Yeah, Makut El Garao.
Yeah.
That was me trying to remember it too, because I forgot.
What was the name I made up?
No, I didn't make it up. I specifically asked for it.
Right.
Oh. I thought that was a character because I'm like, I remember what it is, but Lucha doesn't.
No, me, the player, forgot it initially.
Fair. I was gonna say, you said that like, that's not it. That's fine. Anyway. I mean, but what does that have to do with life not being life? He was alive.
I'm simply referencing the fact that things can happen in remote locations.
Okay.
I think what he's saying is that life doesn't always look like life as we recognize it.
Exactly.
Okay, why didn't you just say that then?
Because he's 0 day.
Either way, Kestrel, you and I should probably prepare for an aquatic entrance if we need to.
Well, okay. I think I can still work with the Anton. I think I still have that somewhere.
Are you guys planning on? I mean, Lutra's fine. Planning on swimming over 1,000 miles?
No,
We have a jet. We can jump in from there.
exactly.
We can just airdrop.
Okay. Well, he said an aquatic entrance, so I thought he meant that he planned on swimming.
I mean, like from the top down.
I mean, let's hope it's an aquatic entrance. Who knows what they have going on there?
This place isn't 1,000 miles below sea level, right?
No. The sea, like at sea level, is 1,000 miles from the nearest landmass.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we can just airdrop into this.
In fact, the closest people to the Point Nemo are astronauts.
Astronauts? Ooh.
Yeah, they aren't 1,000 miles into space.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Point Nemo. So yeah, we can just
Nemo.
pop a fishbowl on me. We're good to go.
Nemo, from the Latin word for no one.
No one. But
Yes,
is that why
no
is that why they were looking for him in that one movie, though?
Actually, when you think about it in a really creative way, maybe.
I mean, it's a
Anyway.
movie about a fish. Of course, I've seen that one.
Of course you are.
Just remember, fish are friends, not
Not
food.
food.
Now let's
That's not
go.
true at all, actually.
Not around Lutra. Yeah, let's gear up and let's go for a swimming trip. This should be fun.
Yeah,
Well,
swimming is great. Oh my
This
gosh.
actually,
Have you ever been swimming before? Oh, it's so much fun.
I don't know what my tail's gonna do when I hit the water. Ugh.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It's gonna get so waterlogged.
Well, yeah, of course. It's called water.
Yeah, but
It's fine. Water is great. Don't worry about it.
Shall we go?
yeah. Let's get ready to go. We can do this.
All right. So, anything else happening before you leave?
Lucha's gonna make snacks for the trip.
What are you making, Lutra?
I don't know. I'm gonna make something though. We gotta
Well-
keep our energy up.
Why don't you do your normal necessity to find out what you're making?
That's a fair point.
That's true. We can roll for things like this.
Oh, there you go. I rolled a 19. Nice.
Ooh.
Well, Lutra was able to make quite delicious appetizers to take along, including some fish jerky for himself.
Fish jerky. Ooh. Comes out with this smorgasbord of hors d'oeuvres and whatnot, like fancy put together and whatnot. And he's just like, yeah, just throw all this together. It'll be fine. It's like, what? You made all this? Why? I don't know. It's, get into a groove. It just kind of happens.
I mean, we won't go hungry.
No, not at all.
Are you planning on going somewhere for a month?
No, just, after you get done swimming, you get really, really hungry, so I figured I'd make sure we had enough food for the afterwards.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that long of a trip anyway. It's like only a 3-hour tour.
Unless, like, what happened in the Bermuda Triangle happens to us, and there's a big white light, and we all end up in completely different places.
ZD just looks over at Kestrel with this inquisitive look on his face, and then completely stone-faced looks at you. Ginger or Marianne?
Marianne! I know! She had cute pigtails.
He silently walks to the plane.
Ah!
So the three of you get on the plane and start your trip. I don't know if we're going to be having any conversations on the plane, or we're just going to.
Yeah, because Lucha is going to sit down right next to Hunter for 0 day.
All right, have at it.
It's like, hey, Hunter, or 0 day, or Hunter, how you doing?
Preparing for a mission.
I mean, like, we're kind of all prepared. We're just going to. Anyway, so, how does it feel to be, like, back here? You know, I mean, you're from the future. I don't know how old you are, but, how's it kind of, is it weird to be back here? Do you remember any of this?
I remember what I need to remember.
Oh, well, good. Cause, yeah, I was kind of wondering something. Do I? Do I,
Allow me to save you the trouble of asking the question.
Oh, okay.
If I know the answer, or I don't know the answer, I cannot tell you, because telling you that would affect decisions you make, which would cause a ripple effect, and all the data that I have obtained for stopping what I'm going to stop would change.
Oh. He looks down. So you can't tell me if I ever actually figure out how to make a souffle?
Any information I give you about the future could have potential devastating effects.
Okay. Oh, you just want to make it a surprise, don't you?
Believe me, the last thing on my mind is keeping a surprise about pastry.
Okay. I'm sorry to get good at making brownies, though. Maybe I'll make some when we get back. Do you still like those? Did you ever actually like those? I've never made them before.
Are we done with these superfluous questions?
I don't know. How long will we get till we get there?
You're flying from basically halfway in between DC and Philly, which is where Jay's base is. And this whole conversation, you have gotten to Knoxville, Kentucky.
No, so we're pretty close.
So you still have a good amount of time.
I do kind of wish. I do kind of wish, like, Hunter was here, though. I did want to talk to him before we did anything that could send us into another dimension or the future or the whatever again.
You do realize he can probably hear what you are saying, correct?
No, actually, I didn't. Because when the last time you guys switched, like, you didn't remember anything that happened with the other one.
Are you sure I did not remember? Or are you assuming because of how I was acting?
Well, Hunter didn't remember. I don't think. No, it's kind of fuzzy.
As are you.
Yes, I am. He smiles.
Now I ask again, are we done with the superfluous questions?
I, um, I guess I have one more. What's superfluous be?
Superfluous.
Oh, okay.
It means unnecessary.
Oh. Okay. So, I guess, yeah, I guess I just, well, if Hunter can, other, not, younger Hunter, can hear me in there, I guess I just wanted to tell him how sorry it was for scaring him back, you know, at the Stormbreaker building. And
Give me a will save 0 die. Younger Hunter hears it, but it's not powerful enough to elicit any reaction out of you.
it just, I don't know, it's just so easy for me to get angry sometimes. Of course, drinking did help before that, but, I've noticed it lately, that it's just, even after everything was finished with everything else, it's just so easy for me to just snap, and sometimes I don't even remember what happened. It's not the first time it happened either.
I know that this is not what you want to hear at this time, but now is not the time to be reminiscing and dwelling on things that have happened in the past that have no direct impact on what we are attempting to do right now. There will be plenty of time later for that.
But what happens if I black out again and get real angry and hurt somebody?
In this scenario, as long as you hurt the proper people, I fail to see how that is a bad thing.
I mean, okay, sure, but it doesn't make it any less scary.
Perhaps not. But sometimes there are circumstances that you cannot directly control. You can only deal with them. And if such circumstances arise, you have to deal with them to the best of your ability and put a positive spin on them. Pointing you in the direction of the things that need hurting seems like a positive spin.
Okay. So, but if I'm about to hurt somebody, like our friends, you'd stop me, right?
Each of the people who is here because they, in some way, are part of what I need to prevent my future from happening. My job is to make sure that they remain safe so that I can fulfill what I came here to do.
So, yes?
And as he says that, he sort of like slowly turns his head and isn't looking at Lutra anymore.
Well, thanks, Hunter. That makes you feel better. And despite you not looking at him, he reaches over and kind of like hugs you.
As soon as Lutra attempts to make, as soon as there's even the modicum of physical contact, he quickly jerks back and out of the way.
Oh, sorry. Jeez.
You two both have animal hearing, so go ahead and please give me a perception check.
Roger, Dodger. How distracted is Kestrel?
Well, Lutra's definitely going to hear it. Kestrel is still flapping his arms mid-panic.
It's not fitting right.
Yeah, so as you go in that, you hear some small mumbling of, you need to focus. Don't let that, no, focus on the mission. You can't let emotions. You hear that like whispered, mumbled, very softly.
Gotcha. So Lucha kind of like takes his arm back and kind of looks at you, but he kind of just gives a nod. I don't know if you're looking at him still or not, but he just kind of gives something of a nod and just kind of like turns and walks away. Not giving you much of an indication that he heard it.
Oh, he's not paying attention anyway. He's still looking away.
Oh,
so.
good, yeah. So he hears it. His ears kind of wiggle, but he walks off as not giving any indication to you that he's actually heard you say it.
Anything else going on besides the squirrel flapping to get in the suit?
What does Lucha do after he stops talking to Hunter? Like, where's he go? Just
Probably sees you flapping your arms in mild panic of trying to get into a swimsuit and walks over and it's like, Kesha, why do you even wear a swimsuit? You've got fur. It's not going to matter.
I mean, it's got to be pressurized.
Huh?
If we're going to be swimming really, really far down, my body isn't built to like withstand that kind of pressure.
Don't put that much pressure on yourself. It'll be fine. You'll do great. He pats you on the shoulder.
I don't know if I can control that. Can you just help me with the zipper?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So he goes back there and... So Lucha's gonna go, before he goes in, Lucha's gonna go and hang up the duster he's still wearing. You know, Phantasm's old duster, because he doesn't want to, like, take it with him, because it's gonna get wet and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going swimming.
That's true.
He actually goes and changes back into his older, like, jumpsuit, because it's a good swimming outfit, which he kept on the plane for reasons of which I'm going to assume.
For just such an occasion.
Yes.
So once Kesha gets himself kind of situated, he looks a little bit anxious, but he tries to pep himself up and, like, hop over to Lutra. So, you excited to dive in there? I mean, you probably haven't gone on, like, a swimming mission in a long time.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Ready.
You alright, Lutra?
I don't know. Something I heard Hunter say. It's kind of weird.
Well, he's not quite himself right now, but what'd you hear?
He's talking about not letting his emotions get to him and not getting attached or something. It's like he's trying to actually stay away from me.
Well, yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it a little bit, right?
So as you say that, he looks at you and just gets this really sad look on his face and turns and looks forward and kind of stands up and says, maybe you're right. And he just kind of walks off.
Oh, Lutra!
He's gone. He's out.
Oh, darn it.
Okay, so you guys are continuing to advance. Probably about 200 miles out. You see, and the only reason you see this is really because of the fact that you're flying in pitch darkness. I mean, there's nothing around you, no cities. You're like 800 miles from the nearest land and everything. And you see light flickering in the distance.
I may not need the swimsuit. Guys, are you seeing this?
I mean, it's the only thing to see, really.
Do you have any binoculars or something where we can get a closer view of this?
Lucho goes up to the cockpit and just looks at any of the instruments and whatnot, because he does know enough about this to try to get something to pop up.
Computer, enlarge.
On screen!
Yes, thank you.
There's nothing really to enlarge it.
Right.
You just have to give it time to see.
If I put this entire wetsuit on for nothing, I'm going to be very happy.
Huh?
Okay, so
It's kind of itchy.
Okay.
Lutra's in the cockpit right now. Castro, I assume, is still standing trying to get that swimsuit on, or
He got it on.
oh,
Right now he's kind of like trying to see if he can see out the window, or at least the front view area.
what's your day doing?
Have they mentioned like over intercoms or anything that there's a light in this darkness?
Kestrel did at least, yeah.
Definitely.
So the scene we get of ZD is one where you can definitely see there's some sort of image on the HUD display of his helmet, but again, you can't see what it is. And then the sort of announcement sort of shakes him out of whatever stupor he was in, and he just sort of hits a button. You can see the screen go blank again, and he goes up to the computer setup.
I think Lucha kind of peers over his shoulder. You thinking you find anything, Zero Day?
Too far away to tell.
Okay.
Just then, well, I'm gonna need dodge checks from everyone.
Oh
Dodge
no.
checks. Dodge checks? Okay.
This could be I won't worry about it. I'm wondering if Kestrel's powers are going to be impacted because he can't open his flaps in that swimsuit.
No, you're all fine.
Thank goodness.
A big, strong gust of wind hits the plane, and the plane experiences massive turbulence. Like, you guys are all shaken from your feet, but none of you actually go flying into anything on the plane.
Oh, okay. That was strong.
Did something attack us?
Potentially. I didn't see anything, though.
Do we have a radar on this thing where we can get a better view of what's going on?
I think so. Someplace.
Maybe.
Lucha's looking around the cockpit.
I mean, you know the plane better than the rest of us, I guess, because you learned how to fly it.
Yeah. He's going to start flicking a few switches.
Give me a quartile.
A what?
WT.
What was that again?
1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, 16 through 20.
6 through 10.
You do not hit any of the lights on the plane, which would have made you very, very visible.
Oh, good.
Oh, yes.
You do, however, hit the plane's night vision.
Ooh.
Nice.
So you can sort of see a little bit better of what's going on, because it is sort of enhanced a little bit. So more than just the low light vision or night vision that you guys would be able to see because you can't really see distance.
Right.
Right.
You also see it's very, very grainy, but it almost looks like tornadoes.
Oh, wow.
What do you see?
It looks like
Zero Day
tornadoes.
can also see these. They're definitely water spouts.
So at this point, Kestro's hurriedly trying to get the wetsuit off of his body. It's like, oh gosh, there's tornadoes. There's things in the air.
Not in the air. They're water spouts.
Wait, what? Oh, they're coming up from the water?
Yep.
Might want to leave that on.
Maybe.
As this is all happening, ZD walks over to basically like the last locker in the like the cockpit area of the plane, the one locker that nobody ever goes into. Basically, looks around, bangs on it in just the right spot, and it pops open.
Ooh, the fonts.
This is me narratively grabbing the things I spent my PowerPoints on. Reaches in, and you see these two small, like what appear to be rollerblade attachments.
Ooh.
And if you look closely, there are also miniature rocket propellers on them.
Ooh.
And he just slides them on both of his boots. But I knew I put them in here.
Just then, you guys approach one of the water spouts. It's impossible to avoid the water spouts because the water spouts are totally encompassing this area.
I mean, they're zeroing in on us too, I imagine.
Oh no, they're stationary. It's basically like a wall of water.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it looks like we're gonna go right through this, guys.
Hold on for turbulence.
Just as everyone braces themselves, as the plane is literally right on top of the water spout just drops.
What?
Oh.
All the others remain up, but the one in front of them drops. And as soon as the plane passes through the area where it was, it comes right back up. So the ship is now trapped inside of this area.
I think we just got let in, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's a great thing.
Well, we got what we wanted.
Or we flew into the trap they were setting.
Right. Well, we're here now, so...
It does mean we found them, at least.
Well, that or something that's making water spouts that has nothing to do with what we're doing.
So now you can see visibly what was creating all that light. And it is a bunch of lightning.
Oh.
Lightning? Okay.
Like concentrated?
It's striking all over the place, but you can see the lightning is actually being sent to the clouds from a single source.
Wow.
If you two wouldn't mind staying here, I can go investigate the source and see if they're willing to parlay.
You're going your own?
Just as you say that, the lightning hits the plane and all the power goes out.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay.
But the plane does not go into free fall.
what are we being carried by?
I don't really know if I want to know.
We're going wherever it tells us to go, apparently.
I don't think it's telling us. I think it's taking us.
So the night vision is still on, and as you guys look, you'll see that the area that the ship is slowly going towards is motionless, meaning it's not water.
Hmm.
Is that land or something else?
I don't know. That's weird looking.
So what do you do when the plane is gently on the ground?
Oh, it actually lands.
Oh.
Okay.
Be
Doesn't.
ready for anything.
Okay. Kestrel snaps his goggles on.
Right. Okay, so, I feel like I've heard this someplace before.
Heard what?
I don't know if that, fire in the sky, smoke on the water.
You really do like your music, don't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot all the time.
Yes, it was especially annoying at 3 in the morning.
Oh, could you actually hear that? Why didn't you never tell me that?
I was the internet.
Oh, right. Okay, you meant before. Okay, yeah, before that.
So, do you guys stay on the plane or get off?
I mean,
Oh,
we
well,
gotta get off.
yeah, we
Yes,
get
babe.
off.
Okay, you get off the plane, and wherever the source of all that lightning was, and there's lightning strikes, but they aren't anywhere near you. But the source of the lightning is actually obstructed, and it's almost like there's mountains.
Mountains?
Not tall mountains, but I would say probably like walls of whatever it is. None of you can actually physically make out what it is right now.
Right.
Probably about 20, 25 feet high.
Okay.
Let's try these bad boys out.
Kestrel in a blur, flips out of his, swimwear. Takes him a couple tries.
You see, as ZD starts to fly.
No, not before me! Crud.
It's just gonna run behind them, I guess.
How heavy is Lutra again?
Lucha can run 60 miles an hour.
No,
How
heavy.
heavy is he?
Heavy, I don't know.
Are you more than 100 pounds?
I would assume so.
Never mind.
Teach, what's 0 days agility?
Agility is 4.
And his dexterity?
0!
Okay, so you're going to get a +2 because it's the average of your agility and dexterity, but you're going to get a -5 because it is pitch black. Go ahead and roll me a d20 -3.
Question. Does infravision help? Because that is the one vision type he has on the sensor hub.
What vision?
Infravision.
No.
Okay, I figured I would ask. I have no problem rolling, but I'm like, okay, it's the one vision type he's got on the HUD.
Nope, there will be no infrared signatures.
Of course, I crit the roll.
Boy, you save. So your skates sort of slip a little when you get to the opening of the passageway. But you don't actually just fall. Your skates just sort of slip a little bit and sort of send you off. And you actually, not hard, but you sort of brush against the wall. And you notice that it is very, very cold.
That's
Hunter, be careful.
You guys be careful. The wall is cold.
No problem for us.
I meant the pads of your feet.
Oh, right.
I'm kind of used to it.
Also, be careful. It is pitch black out here.
So 0 Day is going to be able to discern this. His rocket skates slipped on ice, and the walls that make up the passageway are pure ice.
Whew. Is it still a passageway that looks like we can get through, but just
Oh yeah. There's a direct path between the two walls of ice.
And is it on the ground or is it above?
Oh,
Like
the ice comes down to the ground. It comes up from the ground about 25 feet.
Gotcha.
So, if you've ever watched The Lord of the Rings, sort of like how the mountains sort of raise up and they go back that narrow path to the Cave of the Dead.
Okay.
That's sort of what this is like.
Okay.
It's just a narrow path in between two walls of ice.
Gotcha. And did 0 Day actually make it into the path, or did he get kind of deflected a bit?
No, he fell into the wall right at the beginning of the path.
Oh.
Okay.
So Lucha finally catches up with you two, because...
Oh, Kessler will at least try to warn Lutra, hang back just a tad to help him, navigate. It could be slippery up there.
And Lutra and Kestrel, of course, are going to be able to see regardless because of their low light vision and stuff like that.
Yeah, dark vision, yeah.
Yeah, dark vision. But it's actually not going to be too much of an issue for 0 Day as you get probably about, a third of the way down the path, because the lightning from the center area is actually going to start illuminating the path a little bit.
Okay, that's creepy.
Well, it's like an entrance light. They're welcoming us in.
I don't think that's a good thing.
No, it's very bad. But we don't have any other choice.
I mean, technically we do. We could just...
Let's go, guys!
Okay.
Actually, this is a path that's encased entirely in ice, on all sides, right?
On the two sides, yeah. There's the narrow path, and on both sides it's ice.
So once we get inside, then the reverberations in here must be nuts. Which means we should be able to hear something if there's anything down this path. So did we detect anything as we're heading down this way, signs of people moving or any sort of machinery?
No, you hear nothing. Except the strikes of lightning. You do hear that. But it doesn't really have that reverb.
I don't like this place.
No, it's not really what I was thinking we were going to see. To be fair, I guess I didn't really have much of a thought, but still.
Well, let's just be on our guard as we go down here. Hunter, are you picking up anything?
Nothing that would indicate these signs of life.
Wait, didn't we come here because we had signs of life or something?
That doesn't mean I'm picking any up right now.
Oh, fair.
It is, yeah.
0 Day, is this lightning messing with your equipment, maybe?
Highly unlikely.
Oh. Okay.
So you guys get to the end of the path. And you look out. And it is just an abyss filled with lightning. There's no... It's not like a stadium with a ring of ice around it or anything. It's just a big, large, open area. And all you see is lightning. You still don't see anybody.
Do we smell anything, Lutra and I?
No. The area is massively open, and with it being in the middle of nowhere, you're really not going to pick up much.
That makes sense. And all the ice and water and such in there. Yeah. Makes sense. What's this lightning striking from? Like, where's it coming from? We just see a
The
empty
lightning
point?
strikes are coming from the sky, but you do see a stream of light sort of going. It's basically like ground to sky lightning. It's the opposite of how you would normally envision lightning,
Right.
even though all lightning is actually,
Yeah.
ground to sky. But
we see it this way now.
right.
Right.
It basically looks like inverse lightning.
Weird. Oh, this probably isn't a good idea. Let's inch a little bit closer to this so we can get a better look at where this lightning's coming from.
Do we have to?
You do not have to, but it will probably be the most prudent decision.
Because every time we get close to things like this, something really bad happens.
Yeah, it does. Maybe that's something bad's gonna be the people we're looking for.
And the two of you can stand back and allow me to do it.
No.
And
We can maybe insulate ourselves.
As soon as Lutra steps forward, about 10 feet behind, the walls of ice just crumble, blocking your path.
Okay. That's bad.
Oh, so the path that we came... Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Well, we weren't leaving that way anyway.
We weren't?
Not now.
Well, not now, but later.
Focus on the now, Lutra. Okay, so let's getting closer to this lightning, flying a little bit closer to it to get a better idea of where this is coming from.
So as you inch closer, the lightning suddenly stops.
Okay. So, the lightning stopped. That's a good thing. Except it's probably not.
I kind of just want to get this over with.
I'm kind of okay with that too, actually.
So, Kestrel, takes a deep breath and, does one of those, big... And he kind of calls out, saying, "Hello! We're here! You can stop screwing around now!"
The sound sort of gets lost over the airwaves. So it's almost like there's a wind going through the area that you guys don't feel.
Okay, that's just weird.
Yeah, that was my best idea.
Just then, not that there wasn't an eerie silence already, but you could still sort of hear the sound of the ocean and the currents and the sound of the water spouts and everything, and all of a sudden there's no sound at all.
Kestrel's fur stands on end.
Same.
And then suddenly, almost like footsteps,
Coming from where?
In front of you. It's still a little bit in the distance, but you all would be able to discern. It actually almost sounds like heels.
Hmm.
ZD is immediately going to get in front of Lutra and Kestrel.
Hey,
I've already said I need to ensure you remain safe.
Well, if you die first, Kessel's got to push him aside. We're not going to be very safe, are we?
You two are fast enough to escape. I am not.
you have rocket skates. You're faster than I am.
They do not go faster than you.
Oh.
They are made for upward propulsion, not forward propulsion.
Oh, okay.
So just then, you notice an illumination behind you.
Turn.
And you see on each side of you 2 torches that are lit. They are on stone pedestals.
I didn't see those when we passed by.
Jeez, these guys like the theatrics.
And then 2 more. And then 2 more.
Oh.
Until you guys are surrounded by a ring of torches.
Well,
Go ahead, Lutra. Go ahead.
Go ahead, what?
We're surrounded literally.
By a burning ring of fire?
Yes!
Yes! Wasn't really in the mood to get into that, but now that you mentioned it.
And then, in the distance, in the light of the fire, you see 2 shadowy figures approaching you. And the sound of those heels gets louder.
Lucha immediately just pulls out his crossbow.
Kessler gets into a fighting
Doesn't
stance.
point at anyone, he just kind of has it ready.
And the one that is visibly walking on the ground, making the sound of the heels clacking and everything, says to you, and it is a female voice, "Please, there's no reason to shoot. You can put down the bow and arrow, Lutra."
Does ZD recognize the voice?
ZD definitely recognizes the voice. So, approaching you as they get closer, you can definitely make them out now. You see
Well, that's creepy looking.
I don't see anything.
I don't see it either.
Okay, we'll do this another way. Hold on.
Okay. Which one of the Mysteriouses is it?
None of the mysterious. It's a bunch of question marks.
Ooh.
I forget I can see all of these because I also have GM status, so
Right.
he pops them up, I can get them.
Oh, they're right.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh, that's creepy.
Okay, so that is the one on the left, and walking with it
What are you?
is that. And Kestrel, Lutra, and Zero Day all immediately recognize that this is Salome.
Oh, no.
And that's where we're stopping for tonight.
I wanted to end it with a hello, mother.
That's where we can resume when we come back. It will not be next week, though, because next week we are going to be returning to the next gen. But I do want to thank everyone for stopping by. I think Teach has something he wants to say.
No, go ahead. Fine.
But yeah, we are going to call it a night here at Bay City Chronicles with us at Point Nemo with Sloan and some mysterious cloaked figure in front of us. And I do want to thank you all for stopping by on behalf of Chameleon Ice, OPT Lawyer, The Greenleaf Effect, and our two absentees, Dark Falls and Roystra. I'm Crimson Avix. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.